What's up, guys? Anticio Duke here. We're here to talk about tools for designers. Today I'm going to give you the top 5, that's more like 10 digits, but the top 5 tools for digital designers in this day and age. Some of it can vary depending on which platforms you use and which systems you use. However, it's all synonymous with great designers. So stay tuned and we're going to go over those tips today. Let's do it. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the 5 top tools. I keep doing 10. This is weird. 5 top tools for digital designers in 2019. This actually has been ongoing for several years now, but since it is 2019, we're going to talk about them today. So I'll only give you 5. There's more to discuss. However, at a high level, it's 5 that us as professionals use on a daily basis. Number 1 tool that we use for UI and digital design is Sketch. Now, Sketch is an amazing particular application. It's used primarily for interface UI designs. Now, this is actually by the company Bohemian Coding, which most of them there have been designers. So they actually started and created this particular app with designers themselves in mind. What a great way to do it. What a great business model, right? Sketch is super easy to use. Anyone could do it. It actually has a ton of plugins. The interface is pretty seamless. It actually has integrated prototype in it. So there's a lot of flexibility there when it comes to designing different interfaces, and one that you should be aware of as a digital designer. The second tool we're gonna talk about using for digital designers is Envision. Now, I know I get a lot of discussion around whether it's a really useful tool. I particularly use it day to day, and I absolutely enjoy it. Primarily, it's used as a prototyping and feedback tool. You have, with the first tip I talked about, which is Sketch, you have the ability to import using the craft adaptation, the widget, to actually import and interact with different applications and artboards on the screen and in the Envision tool. You can get feedback. There's times where you want just quick updates or some insight from another team member. They can actually leave comments on particular artboards or screens. They have the flexibility to draw on those screens freehand. So it's more of a collaboration tool than it is for interacting. And a lot of times, most people don't see that there's a lot of value in that collaboration in and of itself. So using a tool like Envision, where you can use the app, they have abilities where you can share and send different interactions to your mobile device. The possibilities are endless. And I rave and absolutely love it, recommend it. I have no sponsorships in this video, so don't go there. Just saying, great tool. I recommend it for anyone. There's a train. It's actually pretty cool. Tool number 3, we're gonna talk about Principle. Now, Principle is an actual interactive prototyping tool. It's used for a lot of different animations. If you want to do high-level interactions, it has integrations with Sketch as well. So a lot of these tools, I'm Sketch heavy, but that doesn't mean that if you're using Adobe XD, if you're using Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator for that matter, you can use all these tools and import them and interact in the way you feel. However, since I'm heavily a Sketch user, I use a lot of tools, and my counterparts and colleagues use those tools which are heavily integrated with it. And Principle is one just the same. Now, Principle has different areas and lanes in which you can interact with your artboards. You can import different assets. You can create different layers where you can change interactions. You can gauge and like dampening and modify things. You get a little bit more granular control as to what the interaction feels and looks like, which is a great thing if you want to get major buy-in. So I definitely recommend Principle. It has a slight bit of a learning curve, but if you're a Sketch user already, you kind of understand and know a little bit more of the ins and outs of the interface, and you can adapt pretty well. That's the third tip and tool that I'll share with you today. So the fourth tool we're gonna talk about today for digital designers has everything to do with development. I know, speaking from a UI design perspective, a lot of times you can design pretty things or great things, fantastic concepts, but how do they get developed, right? So you want to work with these particular developers to ensure that they actually can develop your designs. And you do that with a tool called Zeppelin. Now it integrates, a lot of designs from the front end. So you can import your designs or your artboards there. It can actually extract all of the CSS styles, the type, certain color and button choices and selection states. You can actually get that all in Zeppelin. So it makes handoff easy for your developers. When you're actually used to just exporting screens and sending them over and having them extract codes or creating a style guide, Zeppelin is an easy way, has an easy way to do that. So I definitely recommend it. I know that was not so much a design tool, however, it has everything to do with implementation of your design, okay? And the last tool that we'll talk about today is something that's inexpensive, and that's paper and pen. I particularly always start out that way with just using pen, pencil, and paper. It's least cost effective. It's rapid in terms of your ideation process. And two, the value that you get before jumping into any application that we've discussed previously, the value that you get is endless, right? So like I can have a full conversation about the products and the direction I'm going in without even touching my computer. And that is priceless. So that's all I got for you today. 5 tools, top tools that any digital designer or product designer for that matter, will use in 2019. Again, there are some bonus ones. Adobe XD, people are using Figma for prototyping. There's so many options, they're endless. So I want you to check those out. And feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know which actual tool that you guys are using and how it's actually making your design process more fluid, better, anything. So if you like this video for whatever reason, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone you feel it provides value for, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? And that light just went off again. Don't ask me why. Things happen.